Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen. If you'd like, you can call me Super Dave. We are doing a twofer today. We're doing Python Patrol Vypra and Tiger Force Flint. So, like I said before, I'm going to try to start doing these quicker than I had before. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for joining us today. And good morning to 610 Yojo Daddy. What's up? How are you today? Thank you. Make sure everybody hits and subscribes and does that sharing and the notifications and all that stuff and like and all that good stuff for the analytics. Thank you very much, 610 Yojo Daddy. I appreciate it. So yeah, we got a couple of items to go over today, and then we have a couple of show and tell items. You can see I got my snake armors right here. We're going to go over that in a little while, and so then I got some updates and some things coming up. So we will have a fairly long video today. So hopefully we get everybody in the chat to join us on this. So let's get first to Vypra. Vypra was I guess a reissue of Jinx, redeco of Jinx, but it was called Vypra in the Real American Hero late 90s reissues of a lot of the toy line, G.I. Joe toy line, where they did 2 and 3 packs and a lot of repaints on vehicles and stuff like that. So Vypra came with a repaint of the Stinger. I have the Stinger part, but I don't have the Vypra part. So I would have had her to show you guys in this video, but I don't have that. So I'm going to just go over a little bit of maybe Python Patrol. Hello, Bobby World. Thank you for joining us today. She was a vehicle driver, and yes, she was a vehicle driver. She was with the Stinger repaint in the late 90s. And I have the Stinger, the repainted Stinger, but I don't have the Vypra because when I bought it, it didn't come with the figure. So I have to try to find the figure separately, the Vypra figure. But that was her first appearance as a figure. She may have had another appearance, I can't recall, after that as another figure in the FSS club, but I'm not 100% on that one. So don't take my word for that one. But I know for a fact that the other one was through the Real American Hero line in the late 90s. So we're going to go over a little bit from Dan's book on Python Patrol, because I don't think we've done this before. So Python Patrol was it was different in each variation. So the comic book version was different, and the Sunbow animated series was different. The way that it became Python, a character could be Pythonized, was through a process where Cobra Commander had figured out how to extrude the Pythonization from Pythons and to put it on the armor and put it on the vehicles of Cobra. And so that's where you get Python Patrol through Deke. And it was the first one that used it was Operation Dragonfire. In the comics, it was a different scenario. It was just a different faction of Cobra that they worked out with Darklon and Destro in Darklonia. So that's how it became Python Patrol there. Totally different scenarios. So, but Dan has a write-up in his books on it. And this is the first time we're covering this. So let's see. It says alternate names. NA, year release 1989, designed by various designers. All right, Python Patrol. Following the ideas of having a G.I. Joe Tiger Force, marketing wanted to have a Cobra byproduct as well, following suit to what he had done for Tiger Force. Greg got an existing vehicle, painted it with a snake skin motif. The snake pattern was done using a fishnet stockings on early prototypes. So there you go. So you can see a lot of the Crimson Guard, the Televiper, the Vypra in their Pythonization, and then you can see some sketches there of different characters up there on the top for the Pythonization process. So then there's a little memo here. Python Patrol Wraith. Wraith was Crimson Guard. So I did not know that. That's new information to me. Crimson Guard's original dossier read the elite shock troops of the Cobra Legions and generally deployed in their undercover mode, infiltrating themselves into normal society as used car salesmen, accountants, pedestrians. Their function was part of the Python Patrol is to spy on their fellow wraiths and report all violations of Cobra policy to their evil twin commanders, Tomax and Samot. So Wraith Officer, Python Officer, in the original dossier, Larry put an asterisk next to the phrase digital keyboard message devices. Later in the dossier, he notes these keyboard systems are used in conjunction with the Scrambler pack and short burst transmission modules carried by the Telewraith communication specialists. So Telewraiths, within the last line of the original dossier, it reads, carry digital scrambler decodes low-speed recording decks with ultra-high-speed burst transmissions, enabling Wraith officers to communicate with their other units and support elements. So that's the Telewraith. And the Wraith Vypra was an advantage over the plain vanilla Vypra in terms of stealth, being undetectable by radar or thermal imaging due to the Pythonization process, and by way of this upgraded weapon system and improved munitions. And then Wraith Python Trooper, it states they are cross-trained in at least 2 support skills such as clerk, typist, cook, or supply specialist. Unlike most armies where specialization is the norm, the Python Patrol aspects its clerks to be as proficient with assault rifle as they are with typewriters. So there you go. So they're called wraiths, I guess. The Python forces are all wraiths. So that is a lot of new information that I was not familiar with. But I thought you guys would like to know about that since we're going over the Python Patrol. All right, so then, because we went over Python Patrol, I thought we should go over Tiger Force. And so the Tiger Force, that was, let me see. That was Creating G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Dan Klingsmith, Volume 10, if you want to learn more about those wraiths. The Python wraiths. Woody 222, thank you for joining us this morning. Good morning, Dave. Listening while building a galley in a submarine. Wow. Well, that's something special. Are you in a real submarine or what are you doing exactly, Woody? I'd like more information on that. Is that like a one that has been defunct and they put out to pasture, or what's the deal there? Let me know. All right, so now we're going to go into Creating G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Volume 9, and we're going to go over Tiger Force. So Tiger Force says alternate names, NA, year release 1988 and 1989, designed by various designers. When Greg Bernstein saw a picture of a German tornado fighter jet painted for NATO's Tiger Meet an event where NATO air forces work together and perform different exercises and share tactics. He custom painted an existing Sky Striker jet with a similar decal and presented it to marketing with the idea that G.I. Joe should be part of this annual event. When marketing saw it, they loved the idea and wanted to build an entire segment around the concept. So there you go, Tiger Force. And so you got Bazooka there, you got Tripwire there, and then you have different ideations on the Tiger Force logo, and then a little bit of a layout of the Tiger Force theme. And then there's a character. I wanted to just show this character because this character, Sabretooth, right here in that picture, this is a Sears catalog. That Sabretooth character never got made. They do make a Tiger Force character called Wreckage. That was his alternate name in the modern era G.I. Joe in a set. He was called Wreckage, but it was very close to that. But that one was called Sabretooth. Let's see. No, I'm building brand new Virginia class submarines. Oh, I see. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Thank you guys for all being cool and saying hello to everybody. Now, there's a couple of interesting Tiger Force vehicles I don't think were made in the vintage line, like these two here. Neither of these were made in the vintage line, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. So there's some interesting stuff for Tiger Force. So there. All right. So then we're going to go over some of their packaging, Tiger Force. So we'll find out if that Stinger, Tiger Stinger, got a vehicle, Tiger vehicle. I don't think it did. But we'll find out here shortly. All right, so there's your 88 Tiger Force, the whole lineup there. And you can see Flint right over here. There's Flint. And so there's the lineup of all the Tiger Force figures for 88. All the original vintage card back art and so on. And then they had let me see if I can find their vehicles. So there's their vehicles for 88. So you ended up with the Tiger Cat, the Tiger Fly, the Tiger Paw, and the Tiger Shark. So those are the Tiger Force vehicles for that year. And then we also got the Tiger Rat, which is the Rattler. All right, so then we go to 89, and 89, and here's a little bit of puzzles. I didn't know they did puzzles for Tiger Force. So then in 89, we get, I can find it, Python Patrol. And there's the whole lineup of Python Patrol. And Vypra was not in the vintage Python Patrol. She came later as a character. She never appeared as a Pythonized character. So that's a completely new ideation or iteration of Vypra for Classified. That's a completely new figure. The character name has existed, but the figure as a Python character has never existed. So then let's see if I can find it. All right. So here's two Pythonized vehicles. We got the Asp, the Stun as Pythonized vehicles. Let's do a better job of that. The Asp and the Stun. And then we got the Conquest as a Pythonized vehicle. And then two more Tiger Force vehicles. We got the Tiger Fish, and we did get the Tiger Sting. So there you go, the Tiger Sting and the Tiger Fish. And then that is it for vehicles and figures for Python and Tiger Force. Actually, I don't know if I showed you the second wave of Tiger Force. Let me go back. I showed you the Python Patrol. Where's the Tiger Force? I guess there was no more Tiger Force figures during that period. No, I guess not. It was just Python Patrol. So the Tiger Force got vehicles in '89, but they didn't get figures in '89. So then, so we're gonna go over their comic appearances again. So Python Patrol first appearance was in A Real American Hero comics by Larry Hama, issue 88. It's that Dark Lawn story in Darklonia. And then Tiger Force got their first appearance in Special Missions 25. And that was a Special Forces type extra group that they came up with. So there you go. That's all the information that I have about Tiger Force and Python Patrol. So now we're going to go into Vypra. Vypra. So like I said, I don't have her vintage figure, which was with that redecoed Stinger. I have that vehicle, but I don't have the figure. I have to get the figure, or I would have brought it out to show you what she looked like. But she was basically a Jinx, all like dark bluish with some like white camouflage and stuff. And she was a ninja, and she had a mask and everything like that. And so that was what she kind of looked like. So again, all these figures, the first time we're opening this is number 88. And look at that artwork there. That is really creepy. It kind of reminds me of that Real American Hero cover with the Grim Reaper on the cover, and he's got the big gun and everything by Zek. That's my favorite G.I. Joe Real American Hero cover. There's some really good covers, but this really reminds me of that cover. If she had like a crimson like cowl or something, it would almost be exactly like that. So I really like this actually a lot. So again, then we have the targeting artwork with the QR code to nowhere. And then we have the cross sell. And she's obviously a ninja because she's got tons of stuff, tons of gear. So this is a redeco of the female Blue Ninja and then a Kiko from the movie line. They've used this buck 3 times now. This is the 3rd buck they've done. And then they put some cross gridding for the Pythonization on her costume there, and then used the logo there on her belt. So I think she looks really cool. I like that skull mask. I think somebody else had that skull mask too. Who else had that skull mask? One of the we had a 2-pack. Maybe one of them had it, I think. Woody, I miss these boxes the most, but I don't miss the jerks that figure swapped everything and returned it. Yeah, that's exactly right, Woody, because um, working in the retail industry as long as I have, that happened. And that's one of the bad things about this particular package. I don't care for it either, but I like this package design. I think it was the best package design out of all the packages because it did everything that we needed it to do. It showed the cross sell, the figure gave us some extra stuff on here. It showed the artwork, it showed the QR code, it showed the number, it showed the beautiful photography by Shooting the Galaxy. And it did all the things that it needed to do. And it has Python Patrol on there, by the way. And so I agree with you 100%. That the cover, yeah, I guess it was kind of a Zartan-esque cover, but I call it the Grim Reaper because it doesn't look like Zartan other than the cowl that he has, the crimson cowl, but I still call it the Grim Reaper. But a lot of people call him Zartan, Woody. But yeah, Zartan was the main antagonist in that storyline, but I think he looks more like the Grim Reaper to me. Uh, and then Master of Disguise Zartan. Yeah. Yep. So let's see. So this is a really cool. She looks so creepy on there, doesn't she? I wish this was not a Python figure. I wish it was just a normal character. But they wanted another Python character. Oh, and look at that. There's a little iguana. So I guess we're gonna get that iguana eventually, because this is what, 88, and Cobra Commander with the armor has the iguana. So they waited 100, almost 100 figures to give us this iguana. That is incredible. I never realized that. There's always little homages in these, and I guess that's from um, the um, Operation Dragonfire, where Serpentor was an iguana, so they added that in there. Um, and there's a temple back there, so this is very, very homages to the Operation Dragonfire appearance of the Python Patrol. I think that Grim Reaper cover was for the Saw Viper issue. No, that was way earlier. That Grim Reaper cover is in the 40s. The Saw Viper doesn't come till the 120s, I think, is when the Saw Viper comes. That Grim Reaper cover was in the 40s, the early 40s, maybe 43 or 44 or 45, somewhere in that range. I'd have to pull it out. If you give me a minute, I'll pull it out and I'll find it for us. Oh, Gears GLF, you're a new person in the chat. Thank you for joining us today. Woody, Zartan is the first figure in the classified with a mask. Yeah, he has a mask. But I don't think he had that creepy skull mask, did he? Or maybe it was the San Diego Comic-Con color change. Zartan might have had that mask. You could be right. You could be right about that, because I think that was the San Diego Comic-Con one with the color change, and it had that weird wheel on it. Please do. I don't think I have seen that one. Okay, Gears, I will. Give me just a second. I'll go pull that comic. It's right here. We sometimes get into these rabbit holes, Gears. So give me a second and I'll pull that out. It's right here. Let's see. Where's that? 43. It's kind of Zartan, but I still think it's the Grim Reaper, because somebody dies in this story, and so I look at it as the Grim Reaper rather than Zartan. Even though it's connected to the Cobra Island storyline, I think of it as the Grim Reaper. So let's see. He's referring to the Grim Reaper with the M60 cover, the Master of Disguise art, and he had the skull mask. San Diego Comic-Con. That's right. 610 Yojo Daddy. Gears. Yep. Killer cover. Yeah, it is. It's my favorite Joe cover out of the Real American Hero original cover. And there were some really good covers, but that's my favorite because there's so much like I don't know if ambiguity is the right word, because it represents death, which somebody dies in that story. I'm not going to spoil who dies in it, but it also represents another story arc with Zartan, and one of my all-time favorite characters is in it. And there's a lot going on, and it's very it's like a dark issue of the comic, and there's a lot going on in it, so it has a lot of meaning, that cover. It's not just a G.I. Joe cover. It has a lot of different meanings, so that's why it's my favorite cover. But all right, back to Vypra. So we get off on a rabbit hole, but that's fine. We do that sometimes, and it's fine. And then there's that temple back there. So I don't see anything else with this. No other homages. We got that artwork again, and then we got the cross cell up there. So, Kears, you're new to the chat. So we've been opening these figures up. We started with 00 Snake Eyes, and we've made it up to 88 Vypra, and we've done 11 vintage package figures, and we've done some odds and ends, running variants, and Fortnite Snake Eyes so far. So we're up to 88, and we're going to do 89 as well today. We're doing Python Patrol Vypra. We have her weapons crate, Vypra, 88, and Cobra. So we'll put that over there for a minute till later. And we will get her out of her box. There she is. So there she is. Artwork. That's skull artwork. Put that over there. And there she is. So you got Vypra. So she's basically the ninja, almost 100% the exact mold as the blue ninja, female blue ninja. That came in the 2-pack with the 2 ninjas. And then a lot of this is also a Kiko, like the torso. That's a Kiko's torso, and the legs are a Kiko's torso. I think the waist is Kiko's torso. The arms might not be. The arms might be the Blue Ninja. I'm not sure if Akiko had these shoulder pauldrons or not. Or maybe the shoulder pauldrons, they might be part of Zorana. I'm not sure. But definitely the mask is the female ninja. That's a new head. So she's got some cool looking eyes in there too. Look at those eyes. You see that? I like the deco separations on this. They have a lot of like yellows on the armor and red and black, and then you get the gridding, the Pythonization gridding there, and then her torso is a little herky jerky, but overall she looks really cool. So, but basically, yeah, she's the same mold and stuff like that as those figures. So we're going to put her aside. We're going to get into her weapons. Get this weapons crate opened up. And then we got the Cobra Joe packaging. Yeah. Put that aside. Then we got the legal indicia gobbledygook. Put that over there. And let's see what we get. Based on her little cross sell, looked like she had a bunch of stuff. There's a lot of good ninja stuff out there, so it's kind of cool. So she has a ninja quiver with it's gray. So this one we've seen before, but they've decorated gray, and there's like gold highlights on there that are really, really nice. I'm going to put that on her. I like this quiver. It looks really cool. So then we have, oh boy, that's not good. Look at her bow. Her bow and arrow is all squished. So these weapons at this point in the classified line were very gummy. Very, very gummy on this. That is not good. So they went from a harder plastic to a more gummy plastic. But then I know the fans were all bent out of shape about that. And I think at some point they go back to more of a hard plastic. But I just heard something from a friend of mine on the Ostriker, where a lot of the accessories in the Ostriker were gummy. So if you guys have a gummy Ostriker weapons, let me know in the chat. So I'm going to try to put that together, but I don't know. Does not look like it's going to work. So there, I got her bow on there. She's got a gummy bow. It kind of looks like it's just kind of like bowed out, Pun intended. There. Let's see what else she got. She got a couple of swords. She got a couple of swords with some deco on it. Red handle with silver sword, and another silver sword with red deco again. So they will probably go in this back sheath. Now, I think there's different size swords for different slots. Let's see. So this one goes there. Yep. And I don't know if this one goes there. Yeah. Yep. Goes right in there. So then she has her two swords on her back like that. And then she has a little arrow, another arrow that's a loose arrow. And there's a little slot in the backpack. I'll show you in a minute. Has a little silver deco on the tip. It's a gray arrow, and then the gold feathers on the back. So then on the backpack, there's a hole. There's a hole in there for a arrow, so she can pull the arrow out and do some photography. You can do some photography with that arrow and pull it out of her backpack or her quiver and put it in there. And then she has that really, really cool skull mask with that like looks like Aztec writing on it. I don't know if you guys can see that Aztec writing that's on that. Can you see that? There it is. See that red Aztec writing on the skull mask? So I'm going to put that skull mask on her because I like it. And I think it looks really cool. And it makes her look really creepy. And I think it'll differentiate her more from the Blue Ninja. There she is. Oh, man. Isn't that awesome? I love that. Boy, that makes me very surprised. And it gives me a lot more enthusiasm for this figure, whereas I didn't have before. And that is, looks like that's everything for her. There is a bit of a little doodad on the back of her her quiver. So I'm guessing there's a little spot for this, her bow to clip on with that little doodad that's right there. Yeah, see it's sticking out there? All right, so that is Vypra. I'm going to stick her over there, get that out of the way, and then we'll put her on a stand later. We'll add her to our Python Patrol and Tiger Force display. So that brings us to Flint, who is 89. But before we get into Flint, we're going to get into Flint's vintage figure, vintage Tiger Force figure first. So I don't have any, looks like I don't have any accessories for this Flint. So it's just going to be the figure by itself. And he's a little bit loose. This is a loose Tiger Force Flint. And I have a little bit of paint wear on there, a little bit. But there's going to be some differences with this Flint to the classified, because they take some liberties with this Flint figure that they change up for the Tiger Force. All right, so I'm going to put him, because he's wobbly, his legs are a little wobbly, I'm going to put him back in his package. But I do like the deco on him. He's got like that dark green pants with the light the belts and the harness on him, and he's got his brown beret, and he's got like dark brown gloves, and he still has the bullets and everything, and he's got the camouflage on there, so he looks pretty good, but he's not as bright as the other Tiger Force figures. So now we're going to get into his vintage Tiger Force. So there's 89, and you can see on that art, that paint, that looks really nice. The guy that does this is doing a really good job. He's got paint on his face, kind of like cat eye face makeup there, which is the vintage, as you saw, did not have that. So there's going to be some differences with this figure going forward. And then he's number 89. And then we have the target artwork with the cross sell to nowhere. I mean, the QR code to nowhere. And then we have the cross sell on the back which looks like they took some liberties. They made the shirt orange and they gave him a secondary and a bunch of extra stuff. But he has a lot of gear, and you can see the secondary in the pouch that they gave him in that little thing there. You know what I forgot to cover? One thing I wanted to cover is the designations for Vypra. I never got to her designations. Let me do that first. I think I got distracted with that G.I. Joe cover. I never did her designations. So Vypra's designations is, let's see, she has a skull and crossbones. Yep, actually, it's the money symbol. The money symbol and the crossbones is mercenary. Then she has the knife. Let's see, the knife. The knife is bladed weapons for her sword. Then she has martial arts. I believe there's a martial arts guy on here somewhere. Yep, martial arts. So bladed weapons, martial arts, and mercenary. And then she has the star, the throwing star with the face, which I don't have that on here. So I'm guessing that's throwing stars for her designations, all the designations there. So that's her designations. And then we're going to go into Flint's designations, Tiger Force Flint's designations. So he has the stars with the wheel, which is leader. He's got the bullets. The bullets are light weapons. He's got a weird wheel. Let's see if I have that wheel. No, he doesn't have that wheel, so I'm not sure what that wheel is. And I know we don't have that chess piece, the horse chess piece. I don't think we have that either. No. So Flint has two designations that are not on here. That's a shame. So there you go. So that's Flint's designations. And then we go around to the front, and we got the photography artwork by Shooting the Galaxy. We got the little painted piece here, the cross cell, and then Tiger Force logo and Flint. And it looks like he's got his car from the Sunbow animated, the vacation one where he's on vacation. And he's driving that red car. And then we got that temple again. So that's referencing the Operation Dragonfire storyline again. Bobby World, we need to get rid of the QR code and relocate the legal jumbo to the bottom and bring back file cards. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea, Bobby World. I agree with you 100% on that. Let's see if there's any other. I think that's the only homage is his red car back there. I don't see anything else with him. Nope, that's it. So it looks like he's got a lot of different stuff on him based on this artwork. But it looks really cool. So let's get into him. Again, we're opening it for the first time. We're on number 89. Flint, Tiger Force. There you go. So we're going to put him there. Move Vypra over here a little bit. There. Hopefully she'll stay. And then we have the weapons locker. Flint, 89, and the Stars and Stripes. Put that here. And we'll put his box down here. Out of the way with Vypra's box. And then we will get him out of his package. Let's see. So now we have Tiger Force. We have Bazooka, Dusty, Recondo, and Outback. And Flint we have we can add to the ranks of Tiger Force. And then for Python Patrol, we have the Python Bat. We have the Python Viper, the Python Officer, and the Python Crimson Guard. But now I guess we're going to have to call them the Wraiths because they're Wraiths. I I don't know. I'm gonna find out more information about that rates idea, because as long as I've been collecting since the 80s when this stuff came out, I bought this stuff off the shelf, the vintage ones off the shelf. I never knew they were called rates. So that was the first time I've ever heard that. And I'm going to look into that more and find out, because that means each of those versions of those characters are new characters, because they're Crimson Guard Wraith, Officer Wraith, Viper Wraith. What about the Bat? What about Vypra? Is Vypra now Wraith Vypra, and the Bat is now Wraith Bat? And do they have different capabilities, the Bat, and stuff like that? I don't know. So that's a mystery. That's something new I'm going to have to look into. So there's your Flint, and there's your Flint artwork. Right? So put that over there. So right off the bat, I can say this is not the same as the vintage. It's lighter. It's like more of a burnt umber, and this is more of a brown. So I don't know if it was the paint on the vintage figure, but I know they do a lot more subdued colors on the classified. And then you can see he has this big, huge thing on his back. That's new. His entire secondary harness is separate. He does not have that on the vintage figure. He's got another secondary for a Bowie knife on his left leg, a holster on his right leg. He's got another secondary belt with some gold and black grenades and goggles and stuff for the woods there. A lot of different deco hits on that. His pants are about, I would say they're more, I don't know, like a pine green. They're not like the dark green of the Flint, the vintage one. If you look at the vintage one, those are much darker than this green here. This is more pine green. And then the secondary stuff looks like it's the right color that he has on the vintage, so that's okay. And then, like I said before, he's got that cat paint on his face for his eyes, and he's got I think his haircut looks a little bit different too. I'd have to pull out another Flint to look at this. Let me see if I have Flint up there. Yeah, I have a Flint up there we could use to look at. But I guess it's the same head. It's still the same head. Looks the same. And then he has that badge. I think somebody else had this same secondary with that badge there. And it's got some blue and silver deco on it. And of course, the holster there has gold bullets like the vintage. It just doesn't have the middle part and all this stuff on the back, the holster on the back with the gray and green and stuff like that. And then he has some a green watch, gray gloves with knuckles, green knuckles, and then he has elbow pads, gray elbow pads, and gray knee pads, and then black, gray shin guards with green secondary straps, and his boots are gray and green as well. So they really went out of the way to add a lot of deco hits to this and a lot of colorization, varied color on this as well. So I think as a upgrade, I think it's a better upgrade to that Tiger Force one that we got. So far, I think only one or two of these Tiger Force G.I. Joes have been upgraded better than their vintage. I would say maybe the Recondo, the Outback, the Flint. The Dusty and the Bazooka, basically one for one. Definitely not your favorite. Chandras, hey, good morning. Thanks for joining us again. Not your favorite? Yeah, it's definitely a different visual than the previous figures, but it is unique, and it doesn't look like the vintage. So they did upgrade it, classified it up, and added a lot newer elements to it. But there obviously is some reuse as well. So let's put him over here for now, and let's get into his weapons crate. So we have the legal gobbledygook again, and then we have his weapons. put that aside. There. All right, let's see. What do we got? We got his shotgun. It looks like the same shotgun that he came with the regular version, except there's some green deco on the handle on both sides, and then there's a little bit of gold deco there for the bullets. So that goes to show you what I was speaking about a while back about the weapons and the accessories, where they're putting way more deco hits on the older figures like now in the classified line rather than what they're doing now with the newer figures. There's not as much deco on the newer figures as there is on the older figures. Case in point, Lifeline's case. The handle is white. I think it should have been like gray. Some of his backpack, his should have had like maybe gray antennas or different color deco for the computers and stuff like they've done with other backpacks. And then his pistol, maybe it shouldn't have been all one color. Maybe they should have added a little deco hit there. That's just my 2 cents. You know, they can do whatever they want, but you can tell they're going backwards on the deco and trying to make the figures cheaper to manufacture, and getting away from those deco hits and stuff like that is one of those ways to do that. So then he's got that cool shotgun that Rakondo has with the tape on it, and there's 3 points of deco hits for that, the different tape color on that, which I really like. So there you go. I put the shotgun there in his hand, but I could put it in his backpack because he has that shotgun holster. So I may just put the shotgun there instead. Yeah, I did. I put the shotgun there. I think it looks better there. I'm going to give him his other rifle, the Rakondo rifle, instead, since he's supposed to be in the desert or the jungle in this theme. And it's very loose in his hands, maybe because I gave him that other gun. So I'll have to change up his gun to this hand and see if it fits a little tighter. It's all right, I guess. It's too loose. This gun is too loose in his hands. I don't particularly care for that. It should fit tight. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Let's see if we can get him to stand. So I skipped over it for Vypra, but they both have mostly the same articulation points. They have the new head rocker articulation points. They have the butterfly shoulder articulation. They have the two. They have the double pinned elbows, double pinned knees. They have the crotch and leg articulation. They have the thigh and calf articulation. They have the foot rockers, the bottom ankle articulation. They do not have the secondary wrist articulation, but they do have the hand wrist articulation there. So they got most of the same articulation points. Akiko does not have the ab crunch. Flint does, but it's under that secondary. So if you want to get to that, you have to remove that secondary. So then we have, for Flint, we have his beret, which is very similar color deco to the shirt, and it has that beret, the warrant officer badge there on that. So we're going to put that on his head. There. So he's a warrant officer there. And then we have his bayonet, because he's out in the jungle. He's got some silver deco and black deco on that. We'll put that into his bayonet holster right here. Get it in there. Put that in there. So that's there. Got that on there. And then he has a pistol. It's probably the same pistol that he came with the other one. It's a short, like a short pistol. And we're going to put that in his holster on here, on his right leg. Thus far, this Flint and this Akiko, for accessory wise, all their accessories went right on them. So then we have a weapons cartridge, a little teeny weapons cartridge. Let's see, that goes in this gun here that I have in his hand. There. So all of his accessories went on him. Um, and I like that. I like it when all the accessories for a figure goes on there, and now there's nothing in the weapons crate. The same with Vypra. Vypra has everything on her. And Flint does as well. So there's your Tiger Force Flint and Python Patrol Vypra. What do you guys like? You think these are cool? You think they did a good job with these? I think there's a lot of good color separations, deco hits, and more realism to it. I like the fact that they do have the tiger stripes on Flint on the shirt, but it doesn't like go all the ways around. There's some on the back, but it's not like it doesn't go all the ways around the arms the way it should. But they have it separated like on the front and on the back, and there's none on the legs. Like the vintage one, there was none on the legs either. So would you guys like those? You think they did a good job with that? Um, Tiger Force gets a bit of a break from Target. Now, these were Target exclusives again. That's what they've been doing for a while. They've been doing the Python and Tiger Force exclusivity through Target. But Python Patrol continues with Target, but Tiger Force takes a bit of a break. And we won't get another Tiger Force for quite a while, but it's going to end up being a 2-pack, and then we'll get 2 new Tiger Force figures. And then obviously we just did the pre-order last week for Lifeline, so we'll probably end up with a Tiger Force Lifeline. That's a given, right? And then I'm trying to think. We also have the Duke with the Ram Tiger Force. Then we have Wreckage with the 4-wheeler, the Tiger Paw, I think it was. So we will be getting Wreckage with the Tiger Paw, and we'll get a 2-pack. So we'll add 3 more Tiger Force. So there'll be 9 Tiger Force, and then we have 5, and there's 3 more Python Patrol, I believe. So that is going to give us 8 Python Patrol, 9 Tiger Force. So they need 1 more Python Patrol. I believe they've done with the 3 they're going to be doing, and the 5 that we have. I think they've done all the vintage Python Patrol, and they've added 2 new ones with the Bat and Vypra. Tiger Force, there's a lot more Tiger Force because there's a lot of European Tiger Force, and then they did that exclusive Wreckage with the Tiger Paw, and they gave Duke the Ram, which is a new vehicle for Tiger Force, and there will be a Python vehicle coming up. And I think that is the only Python vehicle that we've gotten. So that gives you a bit of a layout of where the Tiger Force and Python Patrol are up until this point in the line. But now that we got Lifeline, we will get another probably vintage Tiger Force. We kind of got Rakondo, who was a vehicle driver in the Tiger Fly. So I don't know if we would get a repaint of Wild Bill when they do the Tiger Fly as a HasLab re-release. And now that we're getting the Arctic His Tank as a pre-orderable type thing through Pulse, I I'm 100% we're going to get the Tiger Fly that same exact way. And I can't wait because I like the vehicle, Tiger Force vehicles. And we have a lot of other opportunities for Tiger Force vehicles like the Vamp. Now we can get the Vamp. We got the Tiger Paw. We can also get the Tiger Rat. We can also get the Tiger Cat with the Snow Cat and the Rattler. So all that is Tiger Force related. Python Patrol, they've only done the Stun, the Asp, like I showed, and then the Conquest. So we haven't got any of those vehicles. So in order to get another Python vehicle, they would have to do like maybe the Claw or maybe this Snake Armor here, something else to add to the Python theme in order to do a vehicle for Cobra. That is it. That's all your Python and Tiger Force information that I can think of. So that gets us to our snake armor, which is absolutely awesome. Now, I'm a big proponent of everybody helping each other in this fan base of the community. And so a fellow Joe bro helped me get this because I accidentally canceled my order and I didn't get mine. So a fellow Joe bro in the community and actually a member of my channel here, Lone Dragon, helped me get these snake armors, and he was very, very kind and generous. He sold me two, so I can have my complete two of every item, and these are completely, totally awesome. I love them. You can see they are very big, but we are not going to get to it for a while because it's not till 162. So we got about 80 more things to get through before we can get to this. But I wanted to show it off. I like the cool arm. The art on the side looks very vintage-esque there, even though he has those long legs. And then here's some of the cross-cell artwork in the back with a lot of the computer panels and lights and deco and really cool stuff and a lot of the articulation points. He's basically a mech. So I'm guessing we're going to get more mechs because there are a lot of other Cobra and G.I. Joe mechs in this. In G.I. Joe over the years is like 6 or 7 mechs. If you really want to look at the line, some were clubs, some were movie related, some were in the vintage line in the 90s, like 94. So there's a lot of mechs, and he has all the cool claws and um, uh, um, the fire and stuff like that. I can't think of the word that I want to say. I'm having a brain fart. But I don't know. I'll think of it in a minute, I guess. And so look at this artwork on the front, the shooting the galaxy. There's 3 different mechs, and you can see the Cobra Troopers getting into his mech over there, the destroying whatever Cobra city this is. Maybe this is Broca Beach. Who knows where this is? Or it could be Sierra Gordo or Cuckoo Land or one of those made up Larry Hama cities. It looks really cool. Flame uh, reactions there. I love it. I can't wait to get to open this. It's going to be a while. That's why I'm trying to speed this up a little bit. I'm trying to get to more figures quicker so we can get to some of this awesome stuff. When we get past 100, it is like there's so many vehicles and so many awesome like accessories and artillery things like this. After 100, it's like every like few figures or 10 figures is some new thing, vehicle or weapon system or a Cobra vehicle or whatever. There's tons of stuff once we get into the hundreds. But I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I got something coming today. I thought it was going to arrive earlier, but it hasn't arrived yet. So we'll have to show that in the next video. And speaking of the next video, so we're going to do a special series. It'll be 3 episodes. They'll still be classified reviews, but they're going to come from a special location. And that special location is Full Circle Toys in Noonan, Georgia. I'm going on a sabbatical and I'm going to go stake out Full Circle Toys, and we're going to see what cool things we can find there. And we are going to do a review every single day, those 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, from Full Circle Toys. And we will talk with the owners of Full Circle Toys, Richard and Kelly Mix, while we are there for the next 3 days. So I hope you guys have an opportunity to watch those episodes. And if you want, we can try to ask some questions about doing retail store and how all that stuff works with the owners of the store as well. And maybe I might find some interesting things at Full Circle Toys that I might be able to bring home with me for my collection, and I can showcase those type of things as well. It's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to that. Full Circle Toys is one of my favorite places to go to. Whenever I go up to Georgia, I try to go there when I go to Joe Fest, or I go to Toylana, Joelana, or there's a toy authentication, AST or TSA, whatever it is, that's also in the Atlanta area. So whenever I go to all this stuff, I go there to visit Full Circle Toys, and they have expanded. So if you've heard of them and you haven't been there in a while, they've expanded their business to a new location, and it's growing by leaps and bounds. So we're gonna go there 3 days this week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So stay tuned. And I think that does it for this episode. Uh, Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today and contributing and getting involved in the chat. I really love that. It's awesome. That's what I do this stuff for. We are getting very, very close to not only our uh, Classified 100 review, but our 200 episode. So I'm going to try to tie those two things together. And when we get to 200, we may end up with a Classified 100 review of, you guessed it, the Classified HAZLab. Wouldn't that be awesome to tie those two together? Yes, I think so. So thank you, everybody, after the fact, that watches these and contributes and asks questions and comments. I really appreciate it. So if you guys have anything else you would like to add, feel free right now. I got a little bit of time. But if not, we can end this. So we got MCM London that's coming up. Hopefully we're going to get some more render reveals or name onlys or something. And then we have the Italian show that's the week after, which I can never remember the name of that Italian show. And the Hasbro brand teams are going to have a presence. I don't know if any G.I. Joe information will come out of that, but there will be a Hasbro brand panel, and it'll cover a lot of stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. And if that's all there is, then we're just gonna say, because this has got a Tiger Force and a Python Patrol, we're just gonna go with Yo Joe. We'll see you guys tomorrow in our special location. Take care and have a good day.